Where news comes first. This is ABC 7 Extra.
Welcome to ABC 7 Extra Sunday, everyone. I'm Mark Ross. You know, water is something that we take for granted. We just open the tap and there it is. But it's the responsibility of El Paso Water to continuously provide us with water that is safe to use. And tonight we're discussing the future of El Paso's water. We're coming to you from El Paso Water's Tech 2.0 Learning Center. And we'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Joining me, John Ballou, who is the president and CEO of El Paso Water, and Gilbert Trejo, vice president of engineering operations and technical services for El Paso Water. Gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to come out here to the Tech 2.0 Center. First of all, Mr. Ballou, tell us about this facility.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mark, for coming out. We appreciate it. So this is our learning facility. So this is used both for employee training and to educate the public about water conservation and about where water comes from for El Paso. We typically have hundreds of students come through here a month, and we have a number of events that we host throughout the year.
And it's also open to the public, free of charge.
Absolutely, yes.
That's tremendous. So what would a typical visit be? A couple of hours, or just, I mean, it's at your own pace?
It's at your own pace, yes. I would say to get the full experience, allow at least an hour. But there is a lot of detail. So it depends on what age group you're talking about. There's things for little kids, but primarily this is geared towards, well, let's say 8th grade and up.
Now, Mr. Trejo, El Paso Water recently announced the construction of the Pure Water Center. What is it, and why will it be beneficial to El Paso?
Well, Mark, the Pure Water Center is the future of water, not only for the country, but for the world. So the Pure Water Center is going to take a cleaned wastewater, a wastewater that is already used for irrigation of crops here in El Paso County, and then it's going to be further treated through robust, multiple processes that are tried and true. So we'll be using reverse osmosis, membranes, ultraviolet light, and granular activated carbon to ensure the safety and security of the water, and we'll be providing it to our customers. This is the peak of innovation of water supply and water recycling in the world because it provides a generational water supply. This water will be recycled in perpetuity, and best of all, it takes resources that we already are using here in El Paso, whether it's groundwater, surface water, our desalinated water, and we'll be recycling it for generations to come.
So this is taking El Paso Water's Purple Pride project a step further.
Yes, much further. So we've been recycling for 40 years here in El Paso. So dating back to the original method of recycling where we used treated wastewater to irrigate at Ascarete Golf Course. This was back in the 60s. In the 80s, we introduced an aquifer replenishment project where we, again, cleaned a wastewater to a drinking water and replenished the aquifer. Purple Pipe came in the 90s, again, very popular to irrigate green spaces, golf courses and such. But now we're taking it to the ultimate step. So our evolution of water recycling is coming to a pinnacle with the Pure Water Center. Again, in the most efficient way, taking our water resources that we already have in the system, clean it to the absolute maximum level with these processes, and providing it to our customers.
So how is this project being funded?
So multiple ways. Most importantly, the Bureau of Reclamation, federal agency responsible for funding these types of projects. We received $23 million from the Bureau of Reclamation for funding of this, and the rest of it, El Pasoans. So it's something for El Pasoans to understand that their rates go to fund this type of innovation in water supply, a generational water supply, as I mentioned. So our customers, through their rates, they'll be funding it.
So will they see that as a separate rate item on their bill, or is it just incorporated with everything else?
So these projects take years to complete. So over the years, this project has been funded. So through previous budgets and through future budgets here in the next year, that's how these projects will be funded. So it's a mix. There isn't going to be like one large hit in the budget that they'll experience because of this project.
Mr. Ballou, is this a complement, this Pure Water Center, is it a complement to the K. Bailey Hutchinson water treatment facility?
It absolutely is a complement. So the important thing that we're trying to accomplish is to drought-proof the community. So we have water conservation, that's for long-term savings, but there's going to be times when water is not available from the Rio Grande. And during those times, we turn up the K. Bailey Hutchison plant as much as possible, and then we will use the Pure Water Center as much as possible during that time frame. And then anytime that there's some sort of water emergency, let's say like the big freeze of 2011, we could provide additional water as well.
Now, the Hutchison plant has been online for 18 years, and it'll continue to work once the Pure Water Center is open. Are you upgrading the Hutchison facility?
We have been upgrading the K. Bailey Hutchison facility for several years now. So we made improvements to the piping, bringing water into the plant. We made improvements to the membranes themselves. We're making improvements to the capacity to deal with the concentrated salt that comes out of the plant. And then the last thing that we're adding is a 6th unit for treatment at the plant.
And I understand that you're looking at some other wells in East El Paso as part of what you're going to do with the Hutchison plant?
Well, I think that for the wells coming into this plant, we're pretty much done here at this location. If there's going to be additional desalination in El Paso, it will probably be in the lower valley.
All right. So then how will that salinated water get moved from the lower valley out east to the K. Bailey Hutchison plant?
We already have a transmission line that starts at the Jonathan Rogers water treatment plant and comes all the way out to northeast, essentially. And so the Pure Water Center will be feeding into that when there's water available from the Rio Grande. The Rogers plant will be feeding into it, and the desal plant as well.
All right. Still ahead, where is El Paso's water coming from? And considering there might be less water available, what are we going to do about that? Stay with us. You're watching ABC 7 Extra Sunday.